This is the Jack Wolf Knives Gunslinger Jack. This is the knife that I left Blade Show most enamored with. I'd say on the folding end of things, on the production end of things. This really blew me away. Well, I was expecting to see this a few days before I went to Blade Show. I found out that this is what Ben Belkin was going to have there. I try to not know too much in advance what's going to come out from Jack Wolf because I like the surprise. But what a surprise this was. This, as you know, is the first locking knife from Jack Wolf Knives. Up until now, it's been 13 slip joints, and 12 of them came to market. One of them will hopefully emerge in a different life down the road. I was lucky enough to snag one of those, I should say. But this really takes the cake, I gotta say. It's bigger than any of the other Jack Wolf knives, and it's locking. And if you saw my unboxing, or if you've seen me talk or heard me talk about this on any of the podcasts in the past couple of weeks since I've gotten this, you'll know that besides the knife just being spectacular and one of my favorites ever, I'm just really impressed by Ben Belkin and his ability to design knives. I mean, he really proved himself with the slip joints, no doubt, but to pivot, pun intended, to make that pivot into folding knives and to really nail it right out the gate first time is really impressive. So hats off to you, Ben. He's an incredible knife designer, and he's proven it here. Not that he didn't prove it with all the other knives, but to be able to do two different kinds, design two different types of folders, and do it so well, especially this locking one right out of the gate, is pretty amazing. All right, so what this is titanium, beautiful blasted titanium. I've already gotten a couple of little snail trails, which I'm not used to getting on my Jack Wolves. I keep them nice and pristine in their little slips. This one doesn't come with a slip because it comes with a pocket clip. But if you don't like that, you can put a filler tab in there, which is awesome. I'll show that in a sec, and buy a slip that this will fit. And I think I'll do that anyway, just to have the slip that fits this. But yeah, so blasted titanium liners slash frame here. You can see that's all one piece, and they mill out this pocket to put this beautiful Arctic Storm carbon fiber in. It comes in 4 other flavors of carbon fiber. There are many other just like it, but this one is mine. I think it's just beautiful. And you know, I've never been a huge fan of carbon fiber, but I can't say that anymore now that there are all these really cool non-basket weave carbon fibers that have been out for years and years now. I guess I am a fan of carbon fiber because to me this is really stunning and fun to look at. Okay, so you got your S90V blade. They have Jack Wolf Knives has moved on to S90V. They started with M390, two great blades, blade steels that I will never come anywhere close to pushing to their limits. Let me measure this here because you know how much trouble I seem to have counting these squares. So yeah, 3 1/4. It's like the perfect EDC length of blade. Probably the most common blade size for EDC is 3.25. And this one is wickedly thin. I mean, just stunningly thin. I don't know if it's true or not, but these feel like they're getting thinner and thinner with every new knife that they put out here. So yeah, you get that really nice hollow grind, you get that machine satin and the grind lines, which I find really beautiful. You've got that really nice sharpening notch there with all of that room to sharpen upward over time. I just burned my fingers on a red hot cast iron pan. Maybe it wasn't red hot, but it felt red hot. So sorry about that. Yeah, you can sharpen all the way up there. You would have a lot of life on this blade. If this were the only one you were using and you were really in need of removing metal to sharpen it, you'd have a lot of room there. Front flipper, amazing. Great front flipper. Got the jimping, nice sharp jimping all the way up to the end here. This protrudes just enough to catch your thumb and just do a great front flip or side finger flip there. I do find that with side finger flips I can sometimes poke myself, but hasn't happened really too much here. Now, fuller on both sides, looks like a long machined pull, and you can put your fingernail in there and flip it out. But actually, I've been having more success just using the fat of my thumb in the relatively sharp, fuller, and then also with that ridge there created by the full hollow grind coming up to the spine. So you can just kind of put your finger in there and flip it out. I need to oil this, but it came really smooth and, you know, keeps smoothening up, if that's a word. Sorry, that was my operator error, but I have a hard time with this kind of reach over method, and on this one it works great. This handle is so comfortable. Here, let me measure the handle. I almost never do that. Let's see. Yeah, it's about 4 1/8 inches long. Very comfortable, and then you get the benefit of the ergonomics of the Gunstock Jack. So that just feels great in there. Widens, it takes a step up, widens out, but you still get these organic curves in there. Very, very nice. Jack Wolf knives highlighting the ergonomics of these traditional pattern handles due to the fact that they all just come with one blade. So you don't have that secondary blade obscuring the contours of the handles. You really get the benefit of the, you know, ergonomics of these designs. Really nice jimping. Just a beautiful knife overall. Let me show you what the packaging it comes with. The Gunslinger. Of course, he's still working with that awesome artist. A cool knife on this Gunslinger's belt. Oh yeah. That is cool. He's got that old Henry rifle over his shoulder. And you got your POG. And then here the POG has that Gunslinger picture. Here is the filler tab if you want to take out the clip. You just put that in there. A very, very classy addition there. And then here you got the orange cloth and the sticker. I'm your Huckleberry. Just like Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday in Tombstone. What a great movie that was. Love that movie. All right, let me get this stuff back in here. And then let me show you a couple of comparison knives, just for fun. First are my other two Gunstock Jacks. This is the first one Jack Wolf Knives ever came out with, the Sharpshooter Jack. Sorry about that. Beautiful. And how cool is that? I got this similar sort of carbon fiber. God, beautiful. This one you can see on the bolster, it's already starting to, because I'll just put this one in my pocket and carry it like a regular knife. This one I baby in its little leather sheath. And then here it is with the Fox. I always forget I have this one. The Fox Collector Knives Edition Gunstock Jack. Nice crown spine, Italian made. This one's nice because, again, it's a single bladed jack, so you really get the benefits of those ergonomics. So yep, Gunstock, great pattern. Let me show this with a couple of gentleman's knives, because that's what this is. Let's face it, it's a gentleman's knife. It's light enough, it being titanium and carbon fiber and very thinly ground steel, to be carried in a suit or, you know, what have you. But yeah, gentleman's folder. And I don't have too many of those. Size comparison, let's do that first, and then I'll show you the gents folders. Here it is with the with a regular sized Swiss Army knife. I'm showing it with this because all the Jack Wolf knives I've shown off with a Swiss Army knife. And then here it is with the Ritter RSK Mark I Hogue. So very similar in size. Here it is with another gentleman's knife. This is the Boker Texas Toothpick. Very slender knife, about the same size. Look at that. This felt longer to me, and I think that's just because it's nice and thin. And then the last two here I want to show it with. My only bolster lock, the Vero Engineering Synapse. I like a bolster lock, I do. And then lastly, here it is with the Tactile Turn Rockwall. Another gentleman's knife and one of the other few that I own. Just about the same size, lengthwise. But you get quite a robust knife with this Jack Wolf Knives Gunslinger Jack. It really has a feeling of that lock. It must be the lock. I mean, when you hold this thing in your hand, it's pure confidence. And when you open it, it makes a, well, it makes a ting sometimes. I'm going to see if I can get the ting. And it's hard to predict when I get a ting, but you get a great solid feel when this locks open. And I've used this in ways, nothing too rough, obviously, but I've used this in ways that I feel squeamish about using these in. Like, I've done a bunch of cardboard with this. These, I've done some cardboard, but this I felt more confident with that lock. Not that I'm ever going against the blade, but you never know when you're pulling out of a material sometimes. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm really looking forward to more of these locking Jack Wolf knives. I don't know if now that the genie's out of the bottle, if that's something that can be put back. I don't know what Ben's plans are for future knives, if he's going to alternate locking, or if he's going into a locking mode, or what. But I gotta say, if there are any of these left by the time this posts, and these were just released 3 days ago, you have to snag one. It is worth every penny, and you will not be sad you did. And if you are sad you did, you will make your money back reselling this. So really awesome knife. Great job, Ben. Thanks again for bringing us all a sweet knife.